So today is a pretty big day for the G. We are going to put the intake manifold on this truck, and once we do that, we can boost it. So the last thing before the turbo goes on, basically it is a marine intake, the Murray Cruiser marine intake. The factory system on this is terrible. You have no options for injectors because it's a spider injection system. It's completely garbage. If you go boost, you pretty much have to run this intake. So yeah, let's dive into it. So we got our new intake here. This bag is the plugs. Basically got to rewire the plugs for the EV1, EV6 style, I believe it's called, injectors. And this is pretty cool. So I got this sent to me, shipped like this. Pretty cool stuff, but it's not really a necessity, so it is what it is. This one's got fuel rails, unlike the other one. And yeah, so should bolt right up. I'm gonna have to do a few modifications. It's a little different. And that is why I'm gonna bring it to my parents' shop and have my brother Mylan help me. He is pretty much a genius when it comes to stuff like this, as anybody that knows him knows. If you're doing something like this, you definitely want Mylan to be there, because there's gonna be some stuff that needs to be done that pretty much only he can do. So yeah, we're gonna take this all over to my parents' shop and pop the old intake off and go ahead and put the new one on. So I'm not gonna go into too much detail on taking the old manifold out. It's pretty much just go for it. Take everything off and get it out. I'll probably just basically let you guys know all the main stuff that needs to be done once we're putting the other intake on. So take this whole thing off, AC, intake, and keep on going. Hopefully about halfway there. So make sure when you buy a truck, it has electric fans, so you can just kind of get up in there and just sit right there. Pretty deep. Chugging along, almost there. So getting pretty close to taking the manifold off. Just got to take the distributor out. Got my light on there. Already took the top portion off right here. Now get the lower portion. Make sure you take pictures of where that thing is sitting. Let's see if you can see it better like that. Make pictures, or take pictures of where that thing is sitting, because it's important that it goes back the same way. How scary is that? Good night. So we got the intake manifold off. Got to clean it up and get it ready for the new intake. This thing looks sweet. Is this real life? This is Mylan's setup. Like what? So I might as well go through the differences with this intake versus the stock one and kind of tell you what needs to happen for you to put the marine intake on the truck. So I don't know why, but a lot of them come with the 4-bolt. This is a 3-bolt, so I think this whole thing is going to be good, and it has a drive-by cable, not drive-by-wire, so that is what I need, because it's the same as that. Plugins are the same. Fuel line should plug right in. I actually swapped the map sensor from the factory one to the new one. And you're going to need, a sec here, these injector harnesses. So basically, let's see here. Right in here, this is for the injectors. And you're gonna need to cut and splice all these wires for the correct injector. That's probably the hardest part of this whole thing. It's not too bad, but you know, it takes a little time. Other than that, the distributor should work fine. The bolt is the same. Let's see here. Oh, so this is the thermostat housing right here. The factory one has a port coming out right here. I believe it's for the heater core so that you'll get heat before this thing opens up. I'm gonna go ahead and plug this one off on the truck because it doesn't have one here. And I'm gonna see if I don't have heat or if maybe I just don't have heat until the thermostat opens up and gets the coolant flowing. So it looks like this guy should come off of here and go on here. Other than that, it should be pretty straightforward, so let's get into it. One thing that I was kind of nervous about was I didn't have any gaskets for the intake itself, and Felpro gaskets. So they're reusable gaskets. It's kind of what I love about LS stuff. A lot of the gaskets are reusable and they work really great. So other than that, we're gonna toss this thing in there. So now we got all the gaskets on, cleaned up, ready to put the intake back on. Start buttoning it back up. I was meaning to go over some of the stuff on the install, but it was so straightforward that literally pretty much anybody can do it. So we're gonna go ahead and start this thing up, see if she runs. For a startup, probably gonna take a little bit to get fuel in the system, but doesn't look like it's leaking fuel. Yeah. Are you kidding me? It turned over for 1 second and started. What? Is this thing leaking here, coolant, or was it there before? Alright guys, so all done with the intake. We took it for a drive. It drives pretty good. It's not perfect, but it's pretty dang close to perfect as far as drivability. I think it needs to get touched up a little bit on the tune. Surprised though that it actually runs pretty good. Install was pretty easy. I'm gonna actually go over a few things tomorrow with you guys. It's getting kind of late right now, and so I'll go over a few things here and there that you probably should know if you want to do this, but it's pretty basic. Also, that's an 06, 07 truck. They're a little bit different than the older trucks. So again, I'll go over everything with you guys tomorrow and let you know what you need to know. Nice. All right, so it's been a couple days. I've been driving the truck around, and the tune is actually pretty good. So the injectors, although I don't know the size, what they came with, it didn't say in the ad. They got to be pretty close. The truck runs good, it idles good, it's got good power. And if you wanted to do this and, just keep it the way it is, I think there's probably, 20 or 30 horse if you do the intake and the full K&N. It's probably 20 horse there. It feels like it's got a little more power, and it's not tuned, so if you did get a tune, I think it would pick up some power. So I kind of want to go over all the stuff that we did to make this thing work so that you guys, if you want to do this, it'll be a lot easier for you. So let's dive into it. So we got our marine intake here. The injectors are right down here, and you can see they're wired. These are just the factory wires that came down to the Spider injection system. Now, these need to be spliced in. There's 2 wires. Doesn't matter which way they go on the injector connecting, as long as they're to the right injector. So, that being said, here is the factory intake manifold. It's garbage. But you want to take this guy off, and underneath, you got this plug here with the wires coming in. Now, you got your injectors here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, each injector has 2 wires, and the plug here has 2 wires on each. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 12, obviously, 2 per. And these are the way that they go on the new manifold. So, all you have to do is splice these wires. These 2 wires go to this injector. Those 2 wires go to the middle injector here. And so on and so forth. So, this is pretty basic. This is probably the hardest thing for most people to understand, but it is pretty basic. So I'm going to go ahead and put the link for the marine intake that I just put on the truck. I'm going to put that in the description. So if you want to go get it, it'll be down there. Just click on it, buy it. The last time I looked, they did not have any in stock. So I'm not sure if you can get one. When I got it, they shipped it right out to me. If you can't find the manifold that I bought, if it's out of stock or whatever, you can get a different manifold. The only thing, the main thing you have to look at is the injectors. Does it have the injectors, just like a normal LS style where it has fuel rails on each side? You don't want a carb one, obviously. But yeah, just make sure it's got injectors on the rails on each side, and it should work. Might be a little bit different, I don't know. Also, looking at the factory manifold here, we got a port coming out right here. I believe this is for when the truck is cold, you get heat faster. So mine actually didn't come with this. It was just blocked off. So I just plugged off the hose and I have no issues. I might not have heat for 5 to 10 minutes until the thermostat opens, but that's what it is. It's no big deal to me. Also, right here, there was a barbed fitting that screwed in here. I just took it off and I put it on the new one. So that was just plug and play there. As far as the distributor goes, it's plug and play. Take it out of the old one, put it in the new one. Make sure when you take the distributor out, you take a picture of where it was so you don't get your timing off. You want to take a picture, once you take that cap off, you want to take a picture of where it's at. When you pull it out, it's going to turn like this, and then going back in, it's got to be in the same spot. So just make sure it is. So since my truck is a 06, you can see there's a feed line and a return line. The bottom one is the return. We actually just plugged it off because this truck has a fuel pressure regulator in the tank. The top line there is just plug and play. Just took it off the old one, put it on the new one, and you're good to go. Plugins, same thing. All the plugins work there. And as far as the throttle body goes, I just use the new one. You can use either, I don't think it matters, but I decided to just keep the one that it came with, the new one. And what I was talking about earlier is that hose that's plugged off right there. It's supposed to go right where that mark is on that flat area. There's a hose bib there, basically, fitting, and we just plugged off that hose right there, and it's good to go. The marine intake manifold is a must if you want to run any type of boost on these motors, because the injection system is garbage and there's no aftermarket support for them. So if you want to go boosted, if you want to, you know, make some decent power with these, you're probably going to have to do this mod. As far as the whole intake manifold swap goes, I'm going to actually be keeping an eye on this video in case I did miss something or you guys have questions. I'm going to try to actually get back to you on this, because I hate when I go to watch a video and it doesn't have one answer and I can't figure it out. And so, yeah, I'm going to try to keep an eye on this video and actually answer the questions. So if you do have any questions on this, shoot. It's pretty cool to see you guys excited about the G. It's a lot of fun. I enjoy the truck a lot. And it's cool to see you guys like, hey, when's the next video, or when are you putting the turbo on? And I get a lot of that, so it's kind of cool. Hope you guys like the video. That thing's getting turboed real soon, so subscribe to the channel, and we will catch you on the next one.